here in Australia on the eastern side. We should be fairly close to the drivers readying up, getting ready to go. Round 13 of the PS4 Pacific Series, the Tier 2 Pacific Series, here on Race Spec Esports. And ladies and gentlemen, do I have a show to put on for you, because this is going to be one amazing race. It's almost a guaranteed an amazing race around here. We should be close to readying up. All the drivers are here. I'm good to go. And yeah, we should be all good to go. People joining, good to see. As the session counter ticks down towards the start of this wonderful, wonderful race. And what a racetrack we get to go to here today. It can only be described really as a 7-kilometer ribbon of tarmac that weaves and flows its way through the Ardennes forest. It has created tales of triumph and tragedy, success and sorrow. And it's just an amazing circuit, really. There's no other way of describing it. It is just simply amazing. It is a circuit where each and every part of a car and driver and team is tested to the absolute limit. It is a racetrack where all of the factors are counted. From the conditions of the circuit itself, to the drivers, to the weather, it all plays a part here at this majestic and wonderful racetrack. 7 kilometers and 19 turns produces, quite simply, perfection. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the longest circuit in the Formula One season. Welcome to round 13 of the PS4 Tier 2 Pacific Series here at the Belgian Grand Prix at Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. Now, let's begin the 18 minutes of qualifying. This is going to be interesting. Very interesting indeed. It's a sort of circuit where you need to take caution. But those drivers who are willing to go on the limit, to push the boundaries, will be rewarded. But if you are an inch, well, no, not an inch, a millimeter out of line, this circuit will punish you. It is where heroes can be created. And it's a place where people can tragically lose their lives. It's a circuit that demands the best in all of us, really. As Blocky, what in God's name are you doing? Going onto the grass on the Camel Straight. Dearie me. We all know what this track is capable of. We all know what this track can do. But let's see what it's going to do for us tonight here on Race Spec Esports, shall we? Now, just a little bit of a recap on the championship. It's really starting to spice up. 8 Grand Prix winners in this season so far. This is one of them, Sir Blocky Rex. He gathered his knighthood after winning the French Grand Prix and not gathering any penalties, which is quite an achievement in itself. Then he went on to win the previous race in Hungary, becoming the 3rd driver in this championship to win more than one Grand Prix. Alongside Breno 23 and BK, who is now in Tier 1, actually commentating with Expert in Tier 1. Seems to be a recurring theme. Any driver that starts with a B has a great chance of winning a race here in Tier 2. Let's get out of the way. Let this Grand Prix winner take us on a lap of this simply majestic circuit. You can see they're blocky. Quite the unorthodox line, but he's trying to get as much speed onto the straight as possible. Up to the 100-meter board, heavy on the brakes. Second gear, maybe first, there we go. First to get that extra rotation. Up to second, third gear, fifth gear, sixth gear. I missed fourth gear, didn't I? Seventh gear, eighth gear. Then through Eau Rouge and Rayon. Three of the most amazing corners in motorsport. DRS wide open as the speedo climbs and climbs and climbs towards 340 kilometers an hour. It's heavy braking into Les Combes. Third gear, clipping the apexes quite nicely down a small hill into turn 8. First gear to get that extra rotation. Up the gears into 5th, down to 4th through No Name. Down a short straightaway into this legendary left-hander pull-on. You have to be careful. You cannot touch those inside curbs. It's an auto-spin curb in this game. Touching it is pretty much instant death. Through turns 12 and 13. Nice little S section into turns 14 and 15. You have to be careful, particularly at turn 15. The back end wants to step out on a couple of occasions on a flying lap, so you do have to be a little bit careful. Now this incredibly fast Sector 3, as we got some yellow flags with some slow cars, through Blanchimont, absolutely flat out in these things, into the bus stop chicane. First gear, into the final turn, turn 19, and the short blast to the start-finish line, and Blocky Rex sets a 1 minute 44.330. That is the benchmark for the drivers to beat. The next car to cross the line, I believe, is a Ferrari. It's Camos, but he is invalidated. And so has the Renault, I believe, of Candy Cane. I believe. Let's get these tyres up. Very nice. The Red Bull is coming across the line. That's El Tonki. He's on a warm-up lap. Now beginning a flying lap as Installator goes faster, second fastest rather, 1.2 seconds off the pace, which is quite astonishing really to be that far behind. He's shown really good pace as a reserve driver. I believe he got 2 podiums in both Germany and in Hungary. As Kickbutt Kiwi now goes second fastest, a 1 minute 44.9. He is 6/10 off the pace of Blocky Rex. Kickbutt Kiwi, a Grand Prix winner from Germany. A controversial one at that, but a Grand Prix winner nonetheless. Misty Griffin goes third fastest, and Big Donga goes fourth fastest, but he's on the medium tyre. So I'm assuming he's trying to get on to the more ideal strategy, as Suskas now goes second fastest, a 44.5. 2/10 off the pace of Blocky Rex. Let's see. I believe that is a... Yes, it is. It was an Alfa Romeo going into the pit lane. Now, Ken Tenma in the Red Bull. Oh, a little bit of a slide, and he comes across the line. 5th fastest. The fastest of the mediums as well, a 45.4. Now, these times will not stand. The track conditions will evolve rapidly as Camos comes into the pit lane after invalidating a second lap. Let's see. James Cruz, I believe, is the next... No, El Tonki is the next driver to set a flying lap. Also in the Red Bull for tonight, he comes across the line to set a 45.9. Oh! Holding gloves. Very sideways on that straight. On the pit straightaway. Dearie me. Let's see, I believe it is James Cruz, the next driver, comes across the line, sets a 51.2. Must have made a mistake on the lap. He's got a lot more pace underneath his sleeve, that's for sure. Actually, Riale in the Alfa Romeo on the Camel Straight, blasting down in 8th gear, coming towards 340 kilometers an hour through Les Combes. Looks quite nice, I have to say. And apparently he is purple in Sector 1, but I do not believe that. The game tends to tell me lies like that. Through No Name in 5th gear, quite interesting. Now through Puon, nice and wide entry, but you're desperately trying to avoid the inside curb. Takes it quite nicely. Into turns 12 and 13. Fourth gear, does he go down to third? No, he short shifts to fifth to minimise wheel spin. Down 2 gears through 14 into 15 as Suskus has retired in the pit lane. Okay. That makes little to no sense, but okay. Now coming through Blanchimont and into the bus stop chicane. They really need to find a new name for this because it isn't a bus stop anymore. Just sort of a tight double hairpin that acts like a chicane. As actually Reale goes 4th fastest on 1 minute 45.198. Just a little bit clear of Misty Griffin in P5 as a new squabble of cars comes out of the pit lane to set their next flying laps. Camus on a warm-up lap, Candy Cane on a warm-up lap, same with Tor Cogwheel, but this man certainly isn't. Harass, oh, this man has the worst luck that I have ever seen in a Formula One league. After potential race victories, I wouldn't say confirmed, but potential race victories in both Germany and Hungary were taken away from him. I mean, yes, he was on the worst strategy in Hungary, but with this kind of pace, you'd expect him to do well in Hungary. Unfortunately, he had a little bit of contact from Misty Griffin. It was a slight mistake from Griffin. No, it's Candy Cane who he's coming up to. Ooh, and just a late dive out of the way as Aussie Suspect goes faster. So 44.261. Just goes a little bit quicker than Blocky Rex. But Harass, this is the time to look out for. On the mediums, the fastest on the mediums thus far is Ken Tenma, as the revving glitch proceeds to bug the living daylights out of me. And across the line, and 5th fastest, a 45.1. Very nice indeed. Oh, but that revving glitch though, I can't listen to that. Oh god. I do not want to listen to that at all. Honest Crook has invalidated. Candy Cane is now coming through Eau Rouge and Radion, and he misses Radion completely and invalidates his time. See, this is what I mean about perfectionism at this circuit. One false move and that's it. It's a bit like Monaco. It demands perfection. It really does. If you want to be at the top of this league, you have to gamble. You have to use every inch of circuit to try and find those extra kilometers per hour, to shave off those centimeters in distance. Because everyone loves this circuit. I don't know of a single person that hates this track. Not to my knowledge, anyway. Truly a sort of grade A, top tier racetrack. Let's see, Artie Chenga's in the McLaren, Honest Crook invalidated. Same with Candy Cane, he's invalidated as well. Now, I just want to turn my attention to Blocky Rex because he's on a flyer. He's coming into Sector 3 now. Let's see what he can do. Now he's coming up to the legendary left-hander of Blanchimont. You do have to be careful. Try and not touch that inside curb. And he doesn't. Blanchimont. James Cruz for points gamble. But let's see, what can he do? 42.43. He goes fastest. He beats Aussie. Only just by 0.08 of a second. And of course, banana. That's the first thing you have to say. Every time. Jesus. And Alcatraz, you should be racing. So stop messaging here. It's good to see that plenty of drivers here have got some support of some kind. As Candy Cane retires from the session. Oh, dearie me, he's had an accident right at the top of the hill, just after Radion. Now, I pray that his car isn't on the circuit. However, it does look like it is. No, it isn't. It's well off the circuit. And I'm sure ghosting is on, so I don't have to worry too much. Dearie me. As Reedy begins another flying lap. Currently P14 of 45.8. But it is extraordinary as Golden Gloves just beats Blocky Rex by 0.03 of a second. A superb time, and it's extremely close at the moment. Hang on a minute. I thought I might have seen something. Huh. Odd. I saw yellow flags in Sector 1, and I also saw the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Quite close, I'd have to say. So everyone's now switched to the softs. With 4.5 minutes to go here. Comes in. This is going to be a bit touch and go for him. The outlap is quite long around this place, so he can't wait too long. Otherwise he'll be caught out. Let's see, where are the top runners? Kickbutt Kiwi, he's up by 0.3 of a second. At that sort of rate, he is pushing towards the top 4. He's coming across the line, and he goes 6th fastest, 1 minute 44.6. Misty Griffin comes in. That is quite interesting, I have to say. Ken Tenma, he's on an in-lap. Installator is on a flyer, and now on the soft compound tyre. Something that I didn't get to mention in my introduction is the simplicity of the strategy around this place. It is a soft-medium circuit. You can go medium-soft, of course, but you're praying that there isn't a safety car, as that's just a slow car. I don't need to worry about that. That's just Golden Gloves pulling off to the side to let the flying lap drivers through. As Big Donga sets a massive time, a 1 minute 44 flat. Effectively a 1 minute 44 flat. But what can Installator do? Coming up to the line, goes 7th fastest. It is close, people. Half a second separates 7th to 1st. Who out of these drivers are willing to push beyond the edge to try and claim pole position here? You want to be towards the front here at Spa. The DRS and the slipstream are incredibly powerful. You don't want to be lagging behind, as Golden Gloves just... He's in low fuel mode. Okay, he won't be setting any more laps, that's for sure, but he needs to get it back to the pit lane. So the best he can do is 2nd at this stage. And I'm sure these guys have got something to say about it. One of which is Aussie Suspect. After winning in the UK, he's shown consistently fast pace, and he finally put it all together at Silverstone. Can he do it again here at Belgium? We'll have to wait and see. Now, was that a brief lift? Was that a lift that I heard? Not sure. Into the heavy braking zone. 1st gear. And it's raining, people. It is raining. As, oh my goodness me, Aussie Suspect goes pole. A 1 minute 43.8. As soon as it starts raining, he has snagged pole position. Big Dong, there's nothing he can do. He's out of fuel. He can't do anything. Same with Golden Gloves. So it's up to Blocky Rex. Lunacy found his way into 5th place. Can he... Oh, Reedy, please get out of the way. Oh, Reedy. Oh, Reedy, dearie me. That's not very sportsmanlike of you. That could have been a very ugly moment indeed. And I've got to keep an eye on Misty Griffin as well. He's about to start a flying lap. And Honest Crook, he's on an out lap as well. One of 2 drivers yet to set a time. Candy Cane being the other, but he has no chance of setting another time. Oh, as Blocky has a massive moment at Radion. Almost loses the back end. There is no way he's going to be able to snag pole position. The best he can do is 4th. And Lunacy weaving on the circuit. Oh, and a big understeer moment. I think that's it. Aussie Spec has snagged pole position. Harass has invalidated. Misty Griffin. He's up by 3/10 of a second. He needs to find effectively 1 whole second. As Honest Crook has had an accident right at the top of the hill. Oh, and a McLaren as well. That must be Artie. It is. There they are, 2 cars. Both of them having a big accident. The Misty Griffin, in these worsening conditions, it would have to be effectively a lap of the gods to try and beat Aussie Suspect's time. He needs to find 1.1 seconds to try and challenge the Toro Rosso driver through turn 12 into turn 13. He's got an Alfa Romeo in front. I believe that is actually Reale. I'm sure he'll move on by. There he goes. Ooh, just before the apex, which is very nice. Oh, and Misty Griffin, dearie me, down 4 seconds. There is no way he's going to be able to find that time back, if that timer is correct, and it does appear to be so. So Aussie Suspect, with the worsening conditions, has timed his lap to perfection, and he snagged pole position. Actually, Reale just cruising up to the line. He'll be the last. Don't pit. Just retire the car. And DRS is disabled. That quickly. I wouldn't. There we go. That is qualifying over here in Belgium. Aussie Suspect parks his car on pole position with Big Donga in P2. Can Donga finally string a race together where he can lead from start to hopefully finish? There have been many an occasion, France and Germany come to mind, where he leads for quite a period of time and then just something catches him out. At France it was turn 10. That fast left-hander just after the chicane. And in Germany a safety car came out, and then everyone remembers the incident between Kickbutt Kiwi and Big Donga. And Harass was involved in that as well, as he qualifies P6 on the grid. As hopefully Artie will retire from the session. Hopefully. But have a look at that. 11 drivers, 44, 1 minute 44 or under. That is absolutely astonishing. It is incredibly close, I have to say. Incredibly close. But that will end a superb qualifying session, and we'll move on to the race. Suspect on pole. All of the top 10 will be starting on the soft compound of tyre. This is going to be one hell of a race, I think. As the session counter finally begins and begins to count down. Who is in the best position to win, I wonder? Because pole at Spa doesn't mean too much. I believe as a percentage it has the lowest percentage of drivers who start from pole position to go on to actually win the race. Every single one of these drivers, so long as they get a good race together, have a chance of winning this race. Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin this thing. Just before the session starts, the drivers will fine-tune their setups. Oh. Okay. Intermediate throughout? Or will it dry up, I wonder? I'm sure someone in the chat has said something. Guess not. We just know it's raining. So the session counter counts down, and we'll get this race underway with the formation lap. Now, it looks relatively light, But it could get worse. Or it could get better. We'll have to wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, your grid for this evening with Aussie Suspect on pole, Big Donga in P2. P4, Lunacy P5. Lunacy actually has been looking quite quick in the past couple of races. Don't count him out for a solid result. Maybe not a win, but most likely a very solid result for the Williams team. If a couple of things go his way, however, don't count him out for a win. Harass needs a win. He's been looking for a win. He's been looking the fastest out of everyone on the grid, but yet, for some reason, through driver error, or other driver error, just a win hasn't come his way just yet. Suscuss in P7, Installator. He's been looking consistent in the past couple of races. He starts P8. Kickbutt Kiwi, a Grand Prix winner, starts P9. Same with Misty Griffin, the Grand Prix winner from Canada and current championship leader. That's something to worry about. He's just inside the points in P10. Reedy P11, Kentemma P12, actually Reale P13, Torcogwheel P14, Adi Chengas P15, El Tonki P16, Camos P17, James Cruz P18, Candy Cane P19, and Honest Croc will start from 20th place. As the drivers are now coming round through the second sector, everyone will start on the intermediate tyre. Now let's just have a look at the onboard. It does look like it's lightening up, so hopefully we might see some dry running at Spa. But that puts, I was just about to say, Honest Crook, hitting that inside curve. You don't want to do that. Not in these conditions. But Aussie Suspect has now put himself into a really good position. If he's got good car speed, and he can pull away from the start, and break the 1 second margin between himself and Big Donga, or whoever's behind him at the time, he has a really good chance of winning, because the DRS and slipstream at this circuit is incredibly powerful. So, Aussie really desperately just needs to try and set some consistent laps and pull away from the big pack behind. Now, what do the mid pack have to worry about? Turn 1. What do they have to worry about after that? Eau Rouge and Radion. It is quite a terrifying set of corners in the mid pack, and in these conditions it just amplifies that fear by 1,000,000%. So these drivers will be desperately in survival mode, just trying to get through the first 1, maybe 2 or 3 laps. But the drivers are now lining up into their respective grid slots. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got 154 kilometers of racing ahead of us here today on one of the most legendary circuits in all of motorsport. Here at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, we have got 5 red lights. Oh, and Lunacy, a drive-through penalty for a jump start. Oh, I can't believe it. He's done a Raikkonen in P5 as well as Big Donga. He had the better start, but with Aussie on the inside, he is able to lead through turn 1. And it seems the midfield have gone through turn 1 relatively well, but this is the key bit. Through Eau Rouge and Radion, 270 kilometers an hour, in the wet, in 8th gear. It must be absolutely terrifying for these drivers. And everyone seems to have gotten through quite well, as we got 3 wide. Coming into Les Combes, absolutely superb start. And everyone seems to have conducted themselves really well. But I think that's more because everyone's just in survival mode, as Reedy sends it down the inside on Installator and snatches P8 away from him, with Suscuss right in behind in T9. Yes, a very, very nice start indeed. Oh, but dearie me, someone's had an accident. Oh, some people, rather, have had an accident. Camos, Candy Cane, and El Tonki all involved in that one. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. But Big Donga now takes a lead from Aussie Suspect. Maybe Donga has a slightly better wet setup in comparison to Aussie. But I'm not sure whether the conditions will ease up or not. We'll have to wait and see. But Donga has done well, getting past Aussie. Oh, as Aussie runs horribly wide, as we've got some more exchanging of position further back. Let's have a look-see at position changes, shall we? It's been fairly consistent up and down the field. A couple of places gained, a couple of places lost. As Kickbutt Kiwi has a massive moment at blocking Shimondi, and he comes back in a very safe fashion. Currently in P5, the biggest mover other than Honest Crook. As, yes, Lunacy has to serve a drive-through penalty for jumping the start. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. I have to say, the lights were on for an incredibly long time. So, I don't really blame it, as Donga has made a mistake. He has gone deep into turn 1 and has lost 2 positions through La Source. Both Aussie and Blocky Rex have found a way through. Already, we've had 2 or 3 lead changes within the first lap. Been very good, typical Belgium Grand Prix stuff. Thank you, Stereogram. Deary me, it's been absolutely superb at the moment. But alas, he'd be desperately trying to find a way past Kickbutt Kiwi. If he's got the pace, he'll try and find a way past, as I believe James Cruz had a little incident through Radion. Deary me. He's still going. He's currently in 18th place. I believe that's James Cruz. Could be Lunacy, actually. No, it is indeed James Cruz. Lunacy, though, is desperately trying to find a way past Camos in P15 after having to serve a drive-through for jumping the start. But here we go. Oh, just great traction out of the corner, and Camos has got a broken front wing, but you can't go side by side through here, gents. It's Puan, for crying out loud. You can't go side by side through here in the dry, let alone in the wet. Deary me, but somehow they get through relatively unscathed. And Lunacy moves himself up into 15th place. Now, Aussie has done exactly like what I thought he would do. He has moved into the lead and has gained an almost 2-second gap over Big Dog, and makes a mistake at the bus stop. Oh, dearie me. Oh, as we have a bit of a car park through the bus stop. Kickbutt Kiwi sets a new fastest lap, a 2-minute 1.9, and Blocky Rex currently fighting with Donga for P2. Now, if these guys keep it up, it'll make the job easier for Aussie to just pull away. However, it's very good stuff to watch, so it's quite conflicting at the moment. Oh, it's all loose going through Radion. Oh, and Big Donga having a big moment at the top of the hill, going on to the Camel Straight. He will be looking to the outside. Can he do it? Around the outside, if he can hold it. Oh, in contact and into the wall. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, the drivers were way too close to each other coming into the braking zone. Oh, dearie me. It looked like Donga moved in on him. Oh dear, and we got some stuff going on further back as well. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, where are you, Blocky? That's front wing damage. And in these conditions, on a circuit like this, you need a relatively good wing. He is going to be dropping like a stone in water. Currently in 8th place, he will desperately need that wing change. And same with Donga. People watching, if you would like to just review that and tell me what happened. It all happens incredibly quickly. Oh, but dearie me, it's poor Blocky. That's another incident that he's been involved in another league. It happened to him here at Spa on the Camel Straight, actually. Yeah, I'd like to hear people's opinion of what happened on there. Had onboard footage and everything. As Golden Gloves is all over the back of Big Donga. Donga trying to go defensive. He is moving that car left and right to try and hold his position. But it's going to be completely irrelevant at the end of the race. As Aussie Suspect sets a new fastest lap on 1 minute 4.4. 1 minute 1.4. 2 minute 1.4. Jesus Christ me. Donga turned in early. Okay. Yeah, turning in for the corner too early. Clipping the rear wheel of Blocky Rex and into the outside wall at Laycom as Harass makes a move, a beautiful move around the outside. That's how it should have went between those two. That they got... I won't assert blame just yet. I will need to look into it further. But just racing room, fellas. It is lap 4 of 22 around this circuit, where literally anything can happen. Speaking of which, hello DRS, you are now enabled. It has stopped raining, but there is still some spray coming off those tyres. But the stewards have deemed it dry enough for DRS to be re-enabled. And Aussie Suspect has now got a bulletproof lead of 4 seconds at the moment. And remember, he was the fastest in qualifying. So he's in a superb place at the moment. No pressure, he just needs to set consistent laps from here on out. But this is the tricky thing. What tyre? Mediums or hards? Or do you do a 2-stop? 2-stop would be risky. But let's see what these drivers will do. Everyone will be coming in. There is no reason for you to stay out. There is absolutely no reason for you to stay out. In comes Aussie Suspect. In comes Kickbutt Kiwi. Harass, Suscuss, Golden Gloves, Misty Griffin, Big Donga. They're all just going to pile into the pit. Oh, and Donga's out! Donga is out of this Grand Prix! He has crashed into the wall. Oh my goodness me, on the inside of the pit entry, and has completely destroyed his car. That is one of the most unusual crashes I have ever seen in my commentating career. Completely destroyed, dearie me. As everyone now comes into the pit lane to change tyres, Aussie Suspect is going on to the softs. Kickbutt Kiwi on the hards, Harass on the mediums, Golden Gloves on the softs, Suscuss on the hards, Misty Griffin on the softs. It is so staggered at the moment. There's no consistency. The drivers aren't sure what they're going to do. It's sort of a grey lap. DRS enabled. We're back under green flag racing. But Big Donga is out from a potential solid scoring position. He is out of the Belgian Grand Prix, and I'm certain he has some things to say about what happened between him and Blocky Rex. As Camos, he has had a massive crash at the top of Radion. Dearie me. It is all happening at once, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourselves in. We're not even halfway through this thing yet. We're not even a quarter of the way through this thing yet. Still a lot of racing and a lot of action here to come at Spa. This is going to be one hell of a race. And now everyone's on split strategies as well. Aussie Suspect has now pulled out a 5.6 second lead over Kickbutt Kiwi, and he's just going to build and build and build, but he has to make another stop. That's the thing. Kickbutt Kiwi can go in the end. There's a question mark over Harass. Can he make it? That's a long time to spend on the mediums. Is that Golden Gloves? It is Golden Gloves! Oh my goodness me! At Blanchimont, he has crashed into the outside wall, completely destroying the front wing. He will have to come in and replace that. And what will he go on to? Oh, he has to stop. He has to stop. He can't go through that sort of traffic. Very well done, Golden Gloves. Very well conducted. And into the pits. Oh, dearie me. As I said, if you are an inch out of line, this track will punish you, and it is demonstrating that perfectly. As Harass around the outside into Laycom, snatches P2. As look at this beautiful aerial shot from a helicopter going through Laycom. Very nice indeed. Coming down this small hill into turn 8, and Harass is just building and building and building speed. opening up already a 7/10 of a second margin between himself and Kickbutt Kiwi. That is the pace differential between the mediums and the hards. The hards are next to useless around this circuit unless you get damage early on in the race, like maybe lap 1 to lap maybe 3 or 4. You want to switch on to the hards. Got some people in the comments. Hopefully I'll be able to respond to those. Let's have a look further back, because this is not the only thing that's going on at the moment. Got a back... Oh, and we've got this nice battle pack. Have a look at this. Oh, I might keep my eye on this. This is a battle for the final point scoring position in this race. Okay. I need to fix that. I have a big feeling Aussie is going to make a mistake. That's a bold claim from you, sir, in the comments section. As Aussie suspect, Kickbutt Kiwi, there we go. That's another thing I didn't get to mention. I want to say a curse word, but I can't. The crap penalties is probably the better word. The really stupid wide penalties here at the bus stop chicane. They are ridiculous, to say the least. Like, you have all 4 wheels off the circuit, yeah, fine, that's a warning. But at the bus stop, it is a 10-second time penalty. 10. 1-0. It's a lot of time, particularly in this kind of motorsport. As Lunacy is now all over the back of Ken Tenma, but you can't do anything, not here, unless you're Mark Webber. You can't really make an overtake through this section, as Ken is retaliating on Sir Blocky Rex down the Camel Straight. Can Lunacy follow? We've also got an exchange in position between Honest Crook and Artie Chenges in the McLaren. Tell you what, I might have just a little stay on board with these guys and just watch how they conduct themselves. They are desperately trying to find their way into the top 10 to try and score points. Golden Gloves. Oh, Gold Gloves, dearie me. 3 seconds. Oh dear, just a small moment, a teeny tiny moment at Blanchimont, and that was enough. But again, that's the demands of the circuit. Oh, that's a bit iffy, I have to say. All 4 wheels off the circuit, maybe, but a track extend? Okay, Codemasters. 3-second time penalty then for Lunacy. We were on board for that as well, so... Ah, dearie me. Candy cane 3 seconds. Dearie me. Oh, dearie me indeed. But here we go. Suscus is now being hunted down by our current championship leader, Misty Griffin, going through the bus stop chicane and not too far behind. Once again is Installator. He has found himself in some really good positions by just driving cleanly and getting through to the end of the race. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he ended up on the podium, really. He's been showing that sort of consistent pace. And Reedy looks fantastic at the moment in 7th place, but he's on the soft tyre and will have to make another stop. Reedy, jeez. Don't want to go on the grass through Radion, dearie me. Ah, that's an easy pass. A big problem with this game, for sure, and probably with real-life Formula 1. Just... flap opens and it's an easy overtake. There's no proper skill involved in that. For the top tier of motorsport, an overtake should not be that easy. But there we go. Canos has left the session as this wonderful battle for 9th place continues. Look at this! Look at that! 5 drivers! 5 of them! 5! Look at that! 5 of them! And all of them are in different cars as well. A McLaren of Artie Chenges, a Mercedes of Blocky Rex, Honest Crook in the Haas, Ken Tenma in the Red Bull, and Lunacy in the Williams. After having to serve a drive-through penalty, he is but inches away from getting into the points. But of course, penalties will play a part in the end of this race. Oh, and runs a little bit wide through turn 14 as well. Oh, and a little bit wide from Ken as well through turn 15. You have to be careful there. James Cruz, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh, this is absolutely brilliant stuff. As Misty Griffin sets a new fastest lap of 48.2. as Ken sends it. A very nice move indeed. Oh, and Lunacy. What a nice little bit of racecraft right there. Oh, Honest Crook just got absolutely mauled by those two in front. Ken sends it, and Lunacy takes the opportunity to try and overtake Honest. A nice bit of racecraft. And Lunacy, he is right up Ken's gearbox, and he's going to get DRS. He's going to chuck it up into overtake. DRS wide open. Ken, obviously, is going to go defensive. To the inside. Oh, Ken, you didn't defend hard enough. Oh, in contact! Shenges is around. Hardy in the McLaren is around. And I believe... Oh, come on, Codemasters, give me a better camera angle than that. Oh no, he does not have damage. Oh, that lucky duck, I have to say. Contact with Blocky Rex. Spun him into the wall, entering Lacom. Ah, dearie me. I'm going to lose my voice by the end of this, I'm sure. But an absolutely superb battle nonetheless for 9th place. With some of the drivers from the top of the field fighting their way back up to try and score some solid points for their team and for their chances in the Drivers' Championship. Now, we've got a new battle developing. Suscuss on the hards, he doesn't have the pace in comparison to the medium and the soft runners, and he's now incredibly vulnerable to Installate. Got DRS. He's got a little bit of a slipstream, but he's not quite close enough into the heavy braking zone of turn 1 La Source. First gear, second gear, third gear, very nice indeed, fourth, fifth, sixth gear, seventh gear. Now, what does he do here? Into 8th? Okay. See, what I do is I carry 7th through Eau Rouge and Radion, just to make sure. Oh, wow. That's superb straight line speed. Oh no, Achiviale has had a moment right at the top of Radion. Ooh, don't get into an accident, don't get into an accident, thank goodness he didn't. Wing damage? Looks like it. End plate missing for sure. There it is, end plate missing. He'll have to come in. Lunacy has overtaken Blocky Rex, so Lunacy is on the charge. He has put the hammer down. His next target is Reedy in the Toro Rosso, as Gold Gloves has a moment at the top of Radion as well. That complex turns 2, 3 and 4. It's catching out quite a number of people. The other Alpha, Tor Cogwheel, has just received a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Yes, Installator had superb straight line speed on Suscuss. Just breezed on by at the Kemmel Straight. He moves himself into P5, a very solid position for the racing point. But let's return to the top 3, shall we? Currently in 3rd place is Kickbutt Kiwi, but he is being hunted down by the Renault of Misty Griffin. But he will have to make another stop. Kiwi can make it to the end, 100%. Griffin won't. What will save Griffin and the soft runners at the moment is a safety car. So they kind of have to wait on that. Harass is currently in P2. A superb race thus far, and he will score solid points as Lunacy sets a new fastest lap. And there we go! Oh, dearie me, I just have to say it, don't I? I just say it and it happens. We have got a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. A safety car. Dearie me. Gold Gloves has left the session. Oh, dear. After Candy Cane just having a moment at the top of Radion, it seems, having a big crash. This has thrown Aussie Suspect a massive bone right here. But what will he do? Is it softs or mediums to the end? Nah, probably mediums to the end. Although, let me think, it's going to be 2 or 3 laps on the safety car, won't it? That will be lap 13. What's that? 10 laps. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 10 laps. I think the front runners will go mediums. But I think Lunacy is maybe one driver that will go onto the softs. I think Lunacy has shown fantastic pace so far. And I think him and maybe Blocky, might try the softs to the end. Because you're not going to wear them under safety car. It's very little wear. So although there seems to be a long way to go in this race, actually we might be going under green on lap 14. Mediums. Sensible choice. Easily make it. Harass. Mediums. Softs. Oh, you're kidding. He's on the softs. He's a gambling man. Excuse me, gambling man. Kickbutt Kiwi on the mediums. Misty Griffin on the mediums. Installator on the softs. He's a gambling man. Suscus, mediums. Lunacy in for the medium tyre. Lunacy, what will the guys at Williams do? And I predicted it so. I thought he was a gambling man. Onto the softs. Blocky Rex I got wrong. He's on the mediums, but will easily make it. Ken on the softs. Honest Crook on the softs. I didn't pick Harass. Harass surprised me a little bit. I thought he might go a bit conservative and just go with the mediums. But he's gone for it. He's going balls to the wall here at Spa. Now he's going to be absolutely electric in comparison to the rest of the field. But wow, what a superb race this is turning out to be, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I highly recommend you do, because it's not just this championship sort of racing. It is almost everywhere, in every championship, whether it be Pacific Series, the Americas Series, European, the Global, Elite. It's all like this. It's all great stuff here on Race Spec. I highly recommend that you subscribe to this channel. And also a Formula 2 championship. And for those who don't know and don't appreciate Formula 2 enough, Formula 2 develops some of the best racing that I personally have ever seen in both virtual and real life racing. The Formula 2 in this game just churns out some simply astonishing races. So trust me, there is plenty of fantastic content for you guys to watch here on this channel, and I just recommend that you subscribe so then you stay up to date, so then you know when the videos are up, because yeah, you don't want to miss out on some of this stuff. It is simply amazing. But how many laps are we going to spend on the safety car? You see, El Tonki's caught up, but James Cruz is well behind, over a minute behind. What will the safety car do? Will it wait? How long will it wait? I mean, obviously we're doing another lap, but will it go another? In which case, the soft runners look good. Oh, dearie me, Reedy. Very, very slow. Coming out of the bus stop. Must have been in a high gear and just really, you know, slow the car down. I've seen plenty of people do that under safety car. Oh, look at the field. Everyone's on different tyres, on different straps. And we've got a whole heap of extra people coming in, and they're going for the softs. They understand now that they could probably make it on the soft, so they're pitting in, going onto the soft tyre. Except for Tor Cogreel, he must have made a mistake. But they're pitting onto the softs. They understand. Have the medium runners made a small mistake? Oh, I don't know. Has Harass finally put himself into a race-winning position? Tell you what, while the safety car's still going round, I better look at penalties. I have to look at penalties. Aussie Suspect, he's got 2 warnings. Harass has got a warning. Kickbutt Kiwi has got 10 seconds, I remember. But he might get that removed if they do this if they do that in this league. Misty Griffin, 2 warnings. Installator, 1 warning. Suscus, a warning. Reedy has got 3 seconds. Lunacy has got 3 seconds. Blocky Rex has got a warning. And Ken has got a warning. So the only drivers who have got penalties are Lunacy, Reedy, and Kickbutt Kiwi. That is it from the top 10. So they all have a great chance at this. They just need to not blow it, really. Is it safety car in this lap? They're going around. You have got to be kidding me. The safety car is actually going to wait for James Cruz to catch up to this field. Wow. I thought it might be in for this lap, but it isn't. And, oh, how much does this benefit Installator? He's also on the softs. He took the gamble. He's now into a really, really good position in P5. James Cruz is now coming through Sector 3 at the moment. He is gaining rapidly on the pack, as you'd expect. So we'll be back on the green flag racing on the next lap. Oh my goodness. Who's going to win this? I don't know who's going to win this. It could literally be any of these guys. There just needs to be one accident, and that could throw everyone's predictions out of order. What you're thinking now could be completely thrown out of order with one little accident. Honest Crook! A 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Dear oh dear. He's in P12 at the moment. That might throw a points finish out the window for Crook. What about Kiwi? What about Griffin? How are they going to pace themselves in comparison to Harass and Installator? And honestly, count Lunacy. He has been absolutely electric as soon as the circuit went dry and he had to serve his drive-through. He's been plucking his way through the field. He's now on the more ideal tyre. In my opinion, the soft runners are on the more ideal tyre. The mediums are going to make it, but so are the softs. Spa, it just doesn't wear here. It just doesn't. So you've got all of this grip with a tyre that doesn't wear, that doesn't get hot. As a medium runner, you have got to be shitting bricks right now. Tall cogwheel, 10 seconds for exceeding track limits. Oh dear. Dear, dear, dear. Excuse me. A safety car is now in this lap. This is it, folks. This is it. Strap yourselves in. This is going to be one hell of a ride. When they cross the line, it will begin lap 15 of 22. It will be 8 laps until the finish. This has got to be the best... Oh! 5-second penalty! Really? This has got to be one of the best restarts in Aussie's career, and he's bolted already. Not a great bolt, I have to say. Oh, but Harass has overshot the first part of the bus stop. So Aussie Suspect now leads. We're back under green flag racing here at Spa. Lap 15 of 22 has now begun. Harass has now fallen to 1 second behind Aussie, but that gap is going to close so incredibly rapidly. He's on the softs, so in sectors 2 and 3, he's just going to be so much faster, so much faster. But Kickbutt Kiwi, to add on to the 10 seconds he got for corner cutting, he's now got an extra 5 seconds that he has to serve as well for a collision. Job. Gap has opened up to 1.2 seconds, but that is going to close. Once these tyres are finally up to temperature, finally up to pressure, Harass is going to catch him, no doubt. Reedy and Lunacy are fighting with Blocky Rex right in behind coming into Puon. There's no move here. There's absolutely no move here. But Reedy has run wide, very wide through Puon. Leaves himself vulnerable to Lunacy, but he can't do anything. Not many overtaking spots here in Sector 2. Just sort of have to hold yourself back and sort of wait for the bus stop. That's probably your next overtaking opportunity. But through turn 15, very wide from two drivers there, Lunacy and Ken Tenma. But here comes Lunacy through Blanchimont, holds it flat. Oh, here we go, into the bus stop chicane. They give each other room. Aussie sets a new fastest lap. And Reedy is desperately trying to hold on to this position. Currently P7. Oh, dearie me, Blocky. Bit of lag there, thank goodness. As Tor Cogwell has got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, dearie me, to rub extra salt into the wound as he retires from the session. But Aussie, Reedy's out! Oh, I can't believe it! He's out! Safety car has been deployed! Scrap everything I just said. Just scrap it. Throw it into the bin. We've now got a 5-lap shootout. Reedy has lost it at the top of the hill at Radion. Another driver claimed by that wall. I'm not sure if he lost it by himself or if he was helped. Poor fella. Poor fella. Todd Cogwheel has now left the session. We've only got 14 drivers out of 20 starters still in this race. Now what are these guys going to do? Oh, what are these guys going to do? Box for softs? Softs will make it easy. Or do you stay out and gain track position? Oh, more playing around, more strategy, more mind games. Oh, it's all happening in Belgium. It's all happening here at Spa, and I'm absolutely loving it. Oh, wait a minute. What are you fellas doing? Going very slowly. Have to be careful. You don't want to exceed the delta. The game punishes you hard for exceeding delta. Right. Aussie. What is he doing? Stays out. They're going to take track position over a more ideal tyre. It seems everyone is going for that. Minus Honest Croc. Not a bad call. What on earth? Oh no, he must be still going. Oh no, he had to serve a time penalty, that's right. That explains everything. So people are going to take track position. Rather than being on a supremely softer, fresher tyre. Interesting. I thought it might have given these medium runners a break, but no. They're going to take track position. Very interesting. I mean, Spa is one of the more easiest circuits to make overtakes around. Got the DRS zone right down the Camel Straight. You got good overtaking points at the bus stop, at La Source and La Com. And you can sometimes battle just after Lacom into the hairpin of turn 8, into turn 9 of No Name. Yeah, if I was some of the drivers towards the back, I would have gambled like Honest Croc. I mean, for the top drivers, I get that. Holding on to track position, but still. To have those really fresh tyres with low fuel and with all this ERS to play with, and they stay out, And they're going around another lap. And it's falling more and more into the soft driver's hands. Because wear won't be a factor in this. You're not pushing. You're not pushing the tyre to its limit. You're not making it wear. But Aussie proved at the start that he's got good car speed. Harass needs to nail this restart. So does Aussie. If either one doesn't nail this restart, that might be the race. Might. Let's see, lap 18. So when they cross the line, it'll be lap 19, lap 20. Lap 21 is when DRS will be enabled. So they will have 2 laps of DRS. That's it. So both of these drivers really need to nail the restart. If one of them fails, that might be it. Oh, I just don't know. As James Cruz comes into the pits onto a fresh set of soft compound tyres, probably a smart thing to do as he goes into neutral. Oh dearie me, I don't know what's going to happen, folks. Everyone's on different, they've got different wear, they've drivers. There's information at once. Solution. I don't know who's going to win this. Aussie's got track position. Harass is probably on the better tyre. They're only going to have 2 laps of DRS. That's it. Don't know what's going to happen. But James Cruz, he's catching up to the back of the field. And what's Honest Cook going to do? He's on those incredibly fresh tyres. He's going to be quick, like really. I have to say though, these laps are incredibly long when you aren't taking them flat out. 85 seconds, oh dearie me. Fellas, you're all bunched up. The field in the... I mean, I can't say too much. Just keep it within the white lines, it's like colouring in. Keep it within the lines. Oh, dearie me. The safety car definitely in this lap, for sure. There it goes. There goes that wonderful silver Mercedes-Benz SLS. Very nice car. Right. I told yourself to strap yourselves in. It's time to tighten the belts. Because this is going to be even more insane. What it's like in an online lobby in 5-lap and 3-lap races. It's hectic. Will we see that sort of stuff here? Probably not, because it's big. But drivers are going to take every opportunity given to them. And Aussie guns it. It's not a great... can nail the... Aussie might blow this. He has. So, only half a second, it's nothing. And he's on softer tyre. That doesn't have a great deal of wear because we've been spending this sort of period under safety car with only 2, maybe 3 laps on the green. Aussie suspect, there it is! Oh, I don't believe it! 3 seconds! That's it for Aussie. He is not winning here today. Blocky has made a mistake at the top of the hill. He's dropped down to 10th, now 11th place. But I don't want to take my eyes off these guys. This is for the win. Aussie may have just blown his shot. Oh, as Misty almost does the same. Running wide, very wide at turn 7. Almost into the inside wall. Now all that Harass needs to do is just staying behind him and that's it. But... knowing Harass, he's not going to just take this lying down. He's going to try and overtake. Blocky Rex now 3 seconds. Dearie me. I can't believe it. The race leader runs wide at the top of Radion. Gets a warning and 3 seconds because of it. Now coming through turn 15 into sector 3. And Kickbutt Kiwi is gaining, but he's got penalties next to his name. Oh, hang on a minute. Honest Crook has had a moment. Oh, dearie me. After pity for those softs, I was hoping he was going to get a solid result, but no. Fortunately not. Suscus 5 seconds. So all of these front runners are not getting penalties, and that's lunacy. Oh, ho, 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 ho. That is a save and a half from lunacy there in the Williams. Almost losing it. Oh, but Aussie has such superb pace at the moment. But you can see that 304 compared to 315. Harass has got no straight line speed. Look at that, 314, 322. Oh, sorry, 320 compared to 313 into the braking zone. That's massive. Harass is running way too high downforce at the moment, and it's costing him. Did he have a wet setup? Did he think the rain was going to hang around longer so he has higher wings? He's falling away. But he's still in a race-winning position as Kickbutt Kiwi has got penalties to serve. Oh, dear me, sector 1. Oh, it's Honest Crook at the top again. Oh, dear me. I don't know how this is going to pan out. Because, of course, I'm sure some of these guys will be asking for penalty removals if this league does indeed do them. But Aussie, oh, I can't believe that. So Harass is still kind of in a race-winning position, unless Mr. Griffin has got something to say. Coming into the bus stop chicane, Harass just slightly misses the apex of the first turn. Cost him a little bit of time as Aussie sets a new fastest lap. If he can gain a 3-second margin over Harass, he may be able to still hold on to the win. Gap is 2.8 seconds. I didn't think it expanded that much, but it has. Aussie Suspect is flying at the moment. He's absolutely put the hammer down. We've got some stuff happening further back in the pack, but I don't want to look away. Harass, DRS, wide open, to the outside. Kiwi defends. Oh, both of them just miss out on each other, just. Misty Griffin, 3 seconds. He's pretty much out as well. Harass has now fallen outside of 3.1 seconds. The longer he spends behind Kickbutt Kiwi, the more he loses out. Oh, I'm surprised that Harass just doesn't quite have the pace at the moment. We got this massive pack behind this one as well, all scrapping around for position. But of course, like with this one, penalties will take their toll on certain drivers. And now Suspect is out to a 3.1 second lead over Harass. This is going to be down to the wire. Harass can still win this, I think. I'll just double check. Warning. That's it. 1. He's got 1 warning. He can abuse the track a little bit, but not to a great deal. And here comes Installator. He's involved in this as well. But this is it. The final lap. The final 7 kilometers of Spa. Right here, right now. Can Harass do anything? Gap is 3.4 seconds. He needs to find half a second. And at the moment, he doesn't quite have it in him. Suscus, 5 seconds. Sector 3 yellow flags. He's retired? Oh dear. You'd think after coming this far that you'd try and finish the race. As Misty Griffin, Harass has got no straight line speed at all at the moment. Oh dearie me. Gap 3.8 seconds. So even if Kickbutt Kiwi will get his penalties removed, Aussie Suspect is lining himself up for this win here at Belgium Gap of 3.8 seconds to kick butt. 4.4 to harass. He's done it. I thought the soft runners might be a little bit more quicker, but he apparently not. But what a drive from the likes of Kickbutt, Misty Griffin, Achiviale and El Tonki. 6 and 7 positions up respectively between each of those drivers. But ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think he could pull it off. I thought he blew it on the restart, but he's absolutely proven me wrong. He is pushed to the edge, and he stayed within the white lines enough so then he can come home to win here in Belgium and sets the fastest lap on the last lap of the race. Harass will finish in P2, Installator will finish in P3, Lunacy will finish in P4, Misty Griffin P5, and Kickback Kiwi currently P6. Oh, P7 now, oh dearie me. But I'm sure those penalties will get removed. But Artie coming home in P11, James Cruz in 12th, and Honest Crook in 13th place. I can't believe he's done it. He's pulled it off. I didn't think those mediums were quick enough for him to do it. But he proves me wrong. And I absolutely love it when drivers do that. Look at that. Soft runners. 2nd, 3rd and 4th. But Aussie on the mediums, he did well enough. He was fast enough here today. Definitely the fastest driver here in Belgium. Taking pole position, and he will go on to win this race. By 2 seconds to Harass. Who's just can't quite get the win at the moment, poor Harass. But it's a good day for Mercedes. 2nd and 7th. Very solid day indeed. Honest Crook coming into the 3rd sector through the bus stop chicane. He'll come home in 13th place. At least he came home to finished. Very much a sportsman-like move there from Honest Crook. Just finished the race. And he's done exactly that. But wow. What a fantastic piece of driving. I didn't think he could pull it off. He has proved me wrong. Congratulations, Aussie. You're now a 2-time Grand Prix winner in the Tier 2 PS4 Pacific Series. Well done. Harass P2. And Installator can just find his way onto the podium. He's done it again here at Spa. Wow, what a race. What a great race. Aussie Suspect wins by just 2 seconds and sets the fastest lap on the race on the last lap. That is a mark of a true race winner. That is absolutely superb. Harass in P2, Installator P3. Lunacy recovers after serving a drive-through to finish 4th. That's a great drive. Maybe a driver of the day performance, perhaps, for Lunacy. Griffin in P5. Achiviale P6, Blocky Rex P7, Kentenma P8, Kickbutt Kiwi P9, and El Tonki rounds out the finishing the point scoring finishing positions in P10. The fellas, I think we might get some post-race interviews, shall we? I'll try and invite all 3 drivers into the lobby, I hope. Installator, Aussie Suspect and Harass. Aussie's name? Where is it? See if I can't find him. Oh, okay, Insulator, that's alright. Let's see here. See if Aussie can't join us as well. Oh, that's his name. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, there's no underscore. Right. I thought there was. There we go. See if we can't invite these two. Just make sure Harass your audio is all good. Oh no, Insulator. Insulator, can you hear me? Maybe not. And hopefully we'll get... Oh, you don't have a mic. Oh, okay, that's alright, that's alright. Oh, come on, Aussie. I'm sure you have a mic. Tell you what, while he's waiting, I'll start the interviews with you, Harass. Okay. So, I have got just Harass with me at the moment, as Installator has informed me that he doesn't have a mic. I wish he did, because I really like to talk to him to see how he went throughout the race. But Harass, we've got you here. A superb result, P2. A very, very solid result. Good points for the championship. But did you feel like you were in for a good shot for the race win? And, you know... Or do you just feel you didn't quite have the pace to challenge Suspect at the end?
Yeah, I thought I was in for the win. When that safety car came out and I went on to the softs, he went on to the mediums. But, yeah, those last few laps I just couldn't keep up. It was just pulling away, setting new lap times for those last 3 laps.
Were you surprised that you were a little bit slower than him, even though you were on the softs?
No, he's got good straight line speed, I think it was. Yeah, I just had no pace. Even Kickbutt Kiwi and Misty were catching me on the straights, so just goes to show they had better straight line speed than I did.
Did you have a more compromised setup for the wet weather, or is this a setup that you normally use for Belgium?
Yeah, it's just a normal one, yeah, with just a normal dry setup. I knew it was going to rain at the start of the race, but not for that long.
Other than that, how did your race go? Pretty much according to plan? No real mishaps?
No, went good. I can't remember, but had a few good battles. Yep. At the end, and yeah, I'm at the pointy end of the field where I'd like to be.
No, it was good to see, and I'm sure you must be relieved to finally get a good result under your belt after what happened in the past couple of races.
Yeah, no, it was good. I'm at the right end of the field, so see how the next race goes.
Well, thank you very much, Harass, for joining me. Unfortunately, as I said, Insulator doesn't have a mic, and Aussie must be celebrating his victory, I'm sure. He must be off.
Congrats, Aussie. You just had too much pace for me.
Oh, that's very nice from Harass. 100%. That was a fantastic drive from Aussie for sure. That was an absolutely superb job. But no, thank you for joining me for a bit of post-race qualifying. Not post-race interviews, not post-race qualifying. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place tonight. What a race. Oh, good, mate. It was an absolutely superb race here at Spa-Francorchamps. It's, as I said, it is just an awesome, legendary circuit that just developed some absolutely superb racing, and it demonstrated that tonight. And it's just proof of what I said earlier on in the stream. Those drivers who are willing to push above and beyond the limitations of the circuit, and who are willing to gamble their car in trying to get the race win, will win here. And Aussie proved that tonight. He made somewhat of a right call of going on to the mediums, and it paid off for him. Harass just didn't, as he said, he didn't have the straight line speed. We saw that on stream as well. Must have been running in slightly higher wings. It was a fantastic drive, a fantastic race on quite simply a legendary, beautiful, amazing racing circuit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've enjoyed this as much as I did. And as I said before, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's like this almost every week. And all different... Oh, Insulator was in the party, but yeah, he had no mic, so couldn't quite speak to us. It's just absolutely amazing stuff out of this channel, really. Ladies and gentlemen, that will end this stream for T2 Pacific Series here on Race Spec Esports. Tune in for next week as we transition from this place, the spiritual home of Formula One, to Formula One's Temple of Speed. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Italian Grand Prix, the home of the Tifosi, the home of Ferrari, and the home of speed and horsepower. Until then, I've been the Smeg. Thank you all so much for watching, and I bid you all a very good night.